Alright guys, how you doing? Rxllout here. Welcome back to another quick, easy video tutorial sort of thing, and this time we're just going to be going over top 5 drum secrets. So yeah, secrets that people don't really talk about with drums. Probably wondered, why don't my drums sound like that? Why don't my claps sound like that? Why don't my 808 sound like that, etc, etc. So I'm going to be giving you top 5 tips, at least my top 5 tips for drum secrets. So number 1 is going to be layering. Now, what is layering, you may ask? Well, it's where you take a sound and you basically put another sound on top of it or over it or whatever. You mix them together to make a different sound. So for example, if we go to the channel rack here and we go to, let's say, get execute drum kit, we will go to drums, snares. We'll go with the exposed snare and we'll play it here. Sounds good. Now with the clap, get the Corsair clap. Now we've placed these two together now. So let's listen on it without the layering. So as that crunch from the clap, it kind of adds in, makes it sound more. Yeah, it makes it sound more crisp, makes it sound better. And we can advance this as well. We can even shift the clap along. So if we go to the wrench tool in the, whatever this is called, I'm a tutorial, I teach tutorials and I can't remember what this is called. Envelope settings, I think. And we got the wrench tool, we pull the shift up to maybe 2. We see the number up in the top left there. The clap will play after. Now if we exaggerate that, that's what it does. If we bring it down slightly, plays after the snare, just so you know, it kind of it doesn't overlap too much. And we can pan them as well, pan them separately, so it plays in both ears, adds a bit more of a stereo effect. It sounds nice. And it can add a bit of emphasis and build up to a lot of certain things. So yeah, you can see how it adds on. We can even do that with kicks, like if we're feeling like we want to layer a kick. So everything doesn't have to be on the same things and have the same areas. I think we do this with hats. Well, you can do this with everything. It's really just up to preference. So if we layer these two hats here, turn one down maybe, possibly shift it along by 1. We can get different sounds and different frequencies in that drum section. So that's number 1 tip. The next one is stereo enhancing. Now, if we take an 808, let's say the Rhino 808 from my execute kit, and we hit Control L, and we open up the mixer, and we open up a stereo enhancer, fruity stereo enhancer. Once that's here, we're going to see. Yeah, what this does is it enhances the stereo image of the sound. So if we play the sound without stereo enhancer, it kind of sounds in the center, kind of more, not really mono, but kind of mono, but just in the center really. Now if we add a stereo enhancer and we do maybe subtle, so we've moved the stereo separation across, maybe 30% left. We have moved this is the phase offset slightly to the left as well, and turn the volume up, and we can even move like the phase inversion. Now phase inversion is a bit hard to explain, so I won't butcher it, but basically it inverts the phase, if that makes sense. If you know what invert means and you know what the phase is, then that'll kind of go together. But now what this does is it will push the stereo image out of the 808, for example. You can do this with pads, with strings, with kind of melody, kind of background elements. But yeah, with 808s it works very well. Now if we boost it a bit too much, we'll see it plays like completely in one ear and in the other ear, which is the phase offset. So I'll offset the phase from left to right. If we bring it in just a little bit, we hit the no phase inversion, so it's not being inverted at all. Inverted basically means like flipped. the offset and the stereo separation. So yeah, that's what that's doing, is stereo separating it. We can pan the stereo separation left to right if you'd like. But yeah, I'd leave this alone. For strings, a bit more. That's a bit more, you know, stereo separated. So the stereo image, basically, yeah, it's how you think of it. It's played in different segments in the more left and right hemispheres of the earphones. So if you're listening to this on like earplugs or something, you might not notice this effect, but this definitely works extremely well for 808s, and this is why my enhanced 808, I love it so much, is because it's stereo enhanced perfectly. But yeah, you can do that with anyone. You can do that with snares, whatever you like. So that's the same with the snare. You'll hear if we stereo separate it, we'll stereo enhance it. We hear it in both ears, and you can do that with everything. Again, I wouldn't do it with kicks or anything really. It's not a bad effect, it's just, yeah. But yeah, we can hear like that in both ears instead of just, you know, in the center of the stereo field. So hopefully that helps you as well. Again, stereo enhancing, use that to boost your, kind of push things out in the mix and give them their own space, and yeah, bring more attention to them. So that's number 2. The third one is shift. Now you guys probably already know what shift is. If you follow my videos, you probably know what it does. You probably know shift is kind of important, especially in like UK drill and stuff. So if we add a drum MIDI from Precision here, like any, we get another hi-hat here just quickly. There we go. Now if we have, let's say for example, now we've got that there, and maybe we're thinking this is playing, it's sounding too kind of robotic, it's not enough swing in it. If we want to add swing, I've went over this before like I said, but you just go to the time knob here, turn the shift up, and it'll push it, like it basically pushes it across a bit in the mix, and it gives more room for other elements. So if we want the kick to be kind of hitting, you know, like it's still stereo enhanced, but anyway. Yeah, but basically the shift is just there to push it across a bit in the mix so other instruments have more sound and more room to breathe. So like if we have, yeah, like I said, the kick, if the hat's playing the exact same time as the kick, if you reduce the shift, see how they kind of mix together, they kind of, the hat and the kick are like one. I don't like that in my beats, so I usually turn the shift up on the hi-hats, so there's a bit of groove now, there's a bit more movement in it. See what I mean? Hopefully that helped as well. And yeah, that'll boost your the groove as well as the swing and the kind of tempo and the feel of the beat. So yeah, swing, very important, especially in UK drill, so don't forget that one. The next one is the volume multiplier. Now volume multiplier, be careful. Be careful with this because it can make things clip and distort. So if we just play this on its own, good kick, sounds good, sounds thumpy, sounds fine. But let's say we're wanting more thump, like we're wanting it to be louder, we're wanting it to punch, we're wanting it to knock, like really knock. Like even if we turn it up, it doesn't knock as much. But we can multiply the volume here with level adjustment by just turning this up. This again is in the envelope settings and the wrench tool. So we just turn this up, and you'll hear as we turn it up, it'll get. Yeah. Rest in peace, earphone users. I apologize. But yeah, this will boost up your kick if you're wanting it to. If you're wanting it to kind of punch out in the mix a bit more. Same with claps. If your claps are sounding a bit dull, you can turn the volume enhancement up. That's obviously up to you on what you do, but it does boost kicks and makes them a bit more knocky, a bit more yeah, hard, I guess. But but you don't want it playing like that because it's just completely distorted at that point. So yeah, if you're wanting it to be slightly boosted up, you know, a bit more punchy kick, a bit more, you know, harder in the mix, that's definitely the way to do it. It's by volume adjustment. Yeah, so be careful with that. You don't want everything clipping, but if you're wanting a bit more oomph in your kicks, a bit more punch, a bit more, you know, energy, that's definitely a way to do it. So that's the volume adjustment. Again, you can use that on whatever you would like. So just yeah, be careful. Now the last tip, I've never went over this. I've never went over this at all. But it's a thing called transients. Now what a transient is, a transient, if we go to the clap here, a transient is going to basically, it's where the sound will be the loudest and the most clear. So we can see the transients in this clap, for example, is here. And maybe like around here, where it kind of hits the most and you get the most frequency out of it. So we see the transients on the parametric EQ here. Like I said, so when you think of a clap, you think of that kind of crunchy high mid-range. So if we boost the transients of that, we would be boosting the crunchy mid-range where it hits the hardest and it punches through the most. Same with kicks as well, and things like melodies. So if we drop in a melody here, let's say, let's just grab a purity melody. It's the same with, I'm just going to do this. This isn't part of the drums, obviously, but I'm just doing this to show you guys, yeah, what transients are. So we grab a phrase from here, like the memory box, one of my favorites. Solo it for the moment, and add this to the mixer track, go on EQ. So if we wanted to boost the transients of this, we would boost where it's mostly like peaking, where the sound peaks and it's most prevalent. So again, just a kind of extra tip here, if you're wanting to reduce that, so bring the transients down, we would go to where is it? The transient processor, which is excuse me, just while I look for, where is it? Where are you at? You guys are probably screaming, it's there on the screen, but I can't see it. Transient. Well, I can't find it just now, but there's something called the transient processor. I don't know why it's not here. Maybe it's, I've got a new FL Studio, but yeah, you can use a transient processor, bring down the transients. These are really loud. Now these can be sometimes good to bring out, especially in drums and stuff, but if you have claps that are just too, or they're not kind of cracking enough, then it could be a transient problem. So you'll see the transients in my Corsair clap are very strong. But yeah, without these boosted transients, if we reset it and maybe bring them down, we'll see the clap sounds dead. And like I said, to boost it, we would just pull up these certain transient elements where it's the strongest in the track, and we would boost them with an EQ to bring out these transients and make the kick, the snare, and any drums that we're wanting to stand out in the mix more prevalent. But yeah, hopefully that helps you guys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, kind of more of a laid back video today. I'm trying to think of different videos to do, so bear with me. But yeah, hopefully this tides you guys over, you enjoy. Please leave a like, let me know if you learned something. Execute and Precision are available now if you want UK drum drill kits and all that good stuff. Remember to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Thank you very much for watching.